Hello. Hi, everyone. Ellen Campbell here. Today, I'm going live making this beautiful block, color tangles. I love it. The color I've chosen is red and black because right now I think I'm kind of partial to the red and black. I really like it. So my block came out to be 17 and a half inches by 15 and a quarter. So I'll put that aside. I went on and pre-cut my strips. Let me set this over here. Kind of angle it towards the sewing machine a little bit. Okay. I went on and pre-cut my strips and I labeled them with a little label. And I have these little round labels. I label each one of my strips that I have prepared. And I have them out here. And another prep. Oh my gosh. Another preparation I've done with the first one. I haven't done them all, but I made copies. I have my pattern here, and I made copies of the blocks I'm gonna do, and I'm starting with these blocks here because these the one I really want. When I'm done, I will use the other blocks as a frame or trimming for my quilt top. Trying to get a little extra light in here because I look a little dark. But to start off, here's what I did. I'm going to have to lay these where I can access them. So I'm going to lay it over here. I went on and pre-folded my paper. You can see it. I pre-fold them. It's very important that you pre-fold your paper. That changed the color, yeah. Very important that you go ahead and pre-fold your paper. I'm having some issues with YouTube right now. I would have been on earlier, but it's something going on with YouTube, and it causing a huge misfunction. So I went on and pre-fold my paper because it's very important that you pre-fold this paper. It's hard to do without pre-folding your paper. And I started by, all of my blocks are labeled, and they each have numbers. Can you see the numbers? So when I start with block number 1, I look into my prepared cut pieces to find number 1. And my number 1 is the black. So I take my number 1 strip and I keep the numbers on them because that let me know what script I need. And then I take the number 2, which is a red. I just get one from the bottom. Okay. And number 1 is black. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to line these up with the right side up on the paper. Okay, I put my I angle it like this on the back. and right sides together. And I line it up for this first piece. And while I got it lined up, you will need a few pins. I just take my pins and I pin it in place, giving myself enough sewing space so I won't hit any pins or anything. Okay. Okay. Trying to see if my chat is live. Okay, I posted something. Yeah. Okay. As you see, this is the front side of the paper, and I pin my blocks to the back side of the paper. This is how it works. You pin it to the black, and then you turn your paper over. How do I want to do this? I line my machine up to sew on the right side of the paper. Oh, wow. My machine came unthreaded. Look like I'm just having some awesome creations today, ain't it? First YouTube, now my sewing machine. But it's all good. It's all good. God is more than qualified, because he qualifies all calls. Let me get this threaded back. I like leaving everything in my videos, everything, because it shows you in real time exactly what go on, what happened, what occurs, and how do I handle that situation. Ooh, if I can see how to get this in the thread hole. There it goes. Okay. Yay. Okay. I don't want them crossed up. I don't like my thread when it crosses up on me. No, I don't like that. Okay, let's start this again. Line it up. I'm on number 1 and number 2. It's sort of like strip piecing, but this is done on paper. And you just follow your lines. When I get closer to this here, I just slow down, cut my thread. Hi, Lisa Peg. Good morning. I'm glad my chat is working. I thought it wasn't working. I'm doing paper piecing for the color tangible block, and it's designed by Nancy Messuri. I hope I'm saying her name right. And the block is a finished block of 17 and a half inches by 15 and a quarter. And this is the block. I'm doing it in this beautiful color. I just love this color. This the color I have in my bedroom right now, and it's just drawn me. I purchased the pattern from Nancy MesserDesign.com, which I forgot to link it in this video. I mentioned her name, but I have to put the link in. Now, when I'm done, I go back to my seam and I fold this over. Now, I don't have the add a quarter ruler, so I'm using one of my cutting square rulers, and I'm using the 1/4 inch edge on this end. Can y'all see these little lines? The small one there are your 1/4 inch line. And I go over to my cutting board and I politely add a quarter. Line it up and down so it won't. And I take these little scraps and I save them. I'm gonna have to lay them to the side for now. And when I save them, get it cut like that, I open it out, I finger press, and then I have to cut this here at the top. So I fold my paper down at the top. See, this the right side. So I fold it down because I have to measure this, add the quarter, and trim it off. Lisa is saying I can barely thread my machine. She guess she need new glasses. The block is gorgeous. Thank you, Lisa. You know, my tip for that is I get these needle threaders. Little simple, the little aluminum type of thing, needle threader. I get these right here. And if I can get this little wire tip, if you can see it, that little wire tip, if I can get that in the hole, then I threads my needle like that. And I buy these religiously. Well, Lisa said, how many blocks will I make? I'm trying to make enough to fit a king size bed. So at this point, I'm not sure. But I'm thinking I'm going to need somewhere between about 16 of these blocks, because I'm going to strip the center, and I will post a picture once I'm done. So back to the cutting board, right side down, find my 1/4 inch edge, and add a quarter. Take my okay. Now this the starting off of this block. Okay, you see we got a little shape at the top. Now for this piece on the bottom, I have to fold my paper again. Let me see. It goes to the number 2 fold. And I fold it back on the number 2, in the between the number 2 and the number 3 line. And I fold it back. And you see, that's a good bit. But when I trim, you're going to see the design coming into play. So I can really slide that back under here and just use this one. Go ahead and line it up. Get my add a quarter. Save my scraps, because the other templates to this is smaller and I'm saving the pieces. So I can use them for later. Now the next blocks is number 3. I come in and find my number 3 prepared pieces, and I label them as well. And once I get my number 3, I keep everything in order. You have to keep everything in order, because if you don't, you're going to mess up. You're going to be off. Okay, after I finger press my pieces, I come in, I lay my number 3 with right sides together. I have to try. Yes, Lisa said she have to try one of those threaders. Yes, they are very helpful to me. They're very helpful. Especially when you can't see too good. You get it in that little eye, and it pulls your thread right on through. I just don't like it when it crosses up my thread and I have to uncross it. So I pin my next piece, which will be number 3, right sides together on the back of the template, and I turn it to the front of the design, and I go in on the line between the 2 and the 3. And let me let somebody let's see. I really need okay. Now, between this line on the 2 and the 3 of the template, I go ahead and sew my seam. Take my time, take your time, go your speed, and try to stay as straight as possible. Now the trick is to slow down when you get to this edge, and I take a back stitch and I stop and cut my thread. And I don't know if you can see it, but if you sew right through the paper. I remove my pins. And this is such a relaxing process. I like it so much. Once I remove my pins, I open my piece up and I finger press. Okay. Now when I finger press, I have to go to the next seam, which is between the 3 and the 4. 3 and the 4, yeah. And I fold my seam out, which it'll show you once you finger press. See how it's going? Once you finger press that seam back, go ahead, add a 1/4 and cut your paper. Oh, excuse me. I have terrible sinuses. Get me all stopped up here. Let me do my add a 1/4. This is such a beautiful pattern. When I first laid eyes on this pattern, it caught my eyes and I just loved it. And I was like, ooh, if I had that. When I bought this pattern, I didn't know, I have no idea of how to make it. I didn't worry about that because it came with instructions. Take a drink. Okay. My next piece is number 4 coming up. I look at my numbers and find my number 4. And I take one out. Okay. I take it out and check my texture because I want to make sure I get right size together. Once I get it in here, I pin it. And I'm doing all this work from the back side of the temper plate. Okay. I go ahead and pin it in place so nothing will move on you. Pin it in place and it'll be there. And I go ahead and sew down my seam line of number 3 between the number 3 and the number 4. When I get to that edge, I have to slow down. Okay. Got it all done. I removed my pins, put them back in my cushion. Then I spread everything back out and I finger press it out till it will cover up the number 4 block. Now I have to fold back the papers to that number 4, and I have to add a 1/4 inch and trim the leftovers off. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm just checking my message and see that I have anybody else to come in. So as I do that, okay, this is my center. Now all of this got to be trimmed up. So let me show y'all how I do that. Since this is a block, I start from my number 8 and I fold it over, because all your paper you got to pre-fold it. That way you can take your time and trim everything right and get it done. Now I add a 1/4 and take this off. Okay, I add a 1/4 and I trim that off. That's how that looks. Now I have to add a 1/4 to this bottom to trim that off. Add a 1/4 inch and trim it off, which squares it up. My rotary cutter is a little worn, and it's a cute one. I kind of won it in one of the sew package swap groups, one of my sewing swap groups I'm in, and it's kind of worn and probably need to replace it, but I can't really do that right now. So okay, let's see here. I add a 1/4. Why is that like that? Well, I see a problem in this one. I didn't bring that. Did it catch? Okay. I see a little gap right here in the top, right here. I didn't bring my piece down far enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop on this one and I'm going to do another one. Hi, Nancy. I'm so glad you could join me. I left a gap right here, so I'm going to stop here and I'm going to start on another one because I'm going to go back and I'm going to repair this. I'm going to seam rip. It's a way you can seam rip and get that out of there. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to repair that and finish it later. So I'm going to lay that one aside. That's a lesson right there, everybody. Pay attention to your blocks and the width that you're using. I went and had me like 50 of these blocks printed out, and I did 50 of the other ones too. So you have to go ahead and pre-fold your paper. It take a little minute, but you go ahead and pre-fold it, which you really need that pre-folding. This pre-folding helps you out greatly. I mean, who would have guessed it was this easy? I really, really, really love this. Love this, yes. When I first started trying to read the instructions and figure it out, the first thing I did was fold my paper. And it's such a big help to pre-fold your papers. Now, when I get to this intersection on folding my paper, I don't go all the way across. I stop. Then fold the next row. I want to show y'all that I'm folding, doing it all by hand. It's very important to fold these papers. Fold it, take your time, get the lines and fold it. Especially when you have these points. You want to make sure you get your points good. And like the flower y'all see me do when I didn't have my fabric laying long enough the right way. Check for all of that. I mean, this is a beautiful block. Just imagine the different colors you can do with this. The purples, the flowers and purples. Oh my goodness. To me, this red and block is so, this red, y'all excuse me. The red and the black is so beautiful. Till I just had to have me some in red and black. I'm using my fingernail to punch on here to try to keep me on track with these lines. Then I go to the next one. Nancy said, I learned that lesson the hard way too. I'm learning now. But I love doing this. I had never tried paper piecing before in my life. This is the first time, you know, making that block. And I love it. It's going to be hard, something hard for me not to do. I mean, I see where I could have been doing this in a lot of blocks because as a child, I used to draw and make different crafts and stuff. I used to love it because we had arts and craft. Oh, excuse me. Arts and craft classes back then in elementary school, and I loved it. I didn't know how to draw a lick. I am not the best drawer, but I can kind of get what I want. It gave me the ground floor, and this is very beautiful. Nancy designed this block. Nancy Messuri. How do I pronounce that name? I'm sorry I'm butchering your name. But Nancy Messuri. It got an owl on the end. You did a wonderful job. That's what I want to say. You did a wonderful job. I really, really like this block. And when I'm done with my red and black here, it's kind of give me the texture of a Spidey Man feel because how the way I put it together. Even though I'm not a big kid, but I love it. It's going to be going in my room unless somebody want to purchase it from me, but I got the pattern. I'm a quilter by nature. I'm sure this won't be my last one I make. Beautiful paper piecing. Look at that. Ooh, this just stole my heart, y'all. It take a little time to fold this paper, but do take that time. Take that time and fold it and get these seams right. Because in the end, you have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful block put together. And the first thing you're going to be like is, oh, I did it. I know I was like that. I did it. I can't believe I did something this pretty myself. I done it. Makes you feel good. I know it make me feel good. I achieved something that I liked and I wanted. Let me see, is anybody new? Oh, Nancy said thank you. You're welcome. You are so welcome. This is your creation. I'm sharing the joy of making it. I mean, it's beautiful. I really thought I couldn't make something like this, you guys. I really thought I couldn't do it. But with this pattern and this design, I'm doing it. And I got a block sitting over here to the side to show you. It is so pretty, so beautiful. Okay. I have one here. I have to check all my seams because you don't want to get sewing and get fabric on here and I didn't fold this seam. Fold them all. Go ahead and fold them all, even the outer edges, because when you get all the outer edges folded, you're going to have to go back, add a quarter, and trim those as well. Get it all folded. Take your time. Once you get it folded, this allow it to fold backwards or forward. Because in the end, once you're done with the block, you're going to tear all this paper away. Okay. Got it done. Can you see the folding crease? That helps. Now I'm going to start over. Let's try to get this right this time. Number 1. that one. Okay, I'm gonna wind up. Number 1 and number 2. I went on and pre-cut my pieces according to the guidelines, and I labored them. Those little labels you get at the dollar store or Dollar Tree, I have me a pack. It's these here, these little labels here. I went on and labeled my pieces with these. That way you won't be confused on what you gotta use. So applying right sides together. The black is number 1 and the red is number 2. And I line it up. It don't really matter how much you, long as it cover your number 1 block. It don't matter how much extra you get laying over the line because you're going to add a quarter and trim it. So I go ahead and pin it in place to the right side of the sheet of paper with the fabric bringing right sides together. Then, Lord help me, Jesus, I got that wrong. I'm so sorry. You pin it to the back side of your paper with right sides together. With right sides together, and it overlaps the line just a little bit. And you go ahead and pin it. Well, there. Y'all see I was getting a little off track. So this is the right side, and I pin my pieces to the back side. Now I will turn it to the right side and sew down the seam between the block 1 and 2. Using the line to sew by. When I get close to this edge, stop, cut my thread. Take it out, remove the pins, and I finger press it open. Now I do have a little wooden press that I could use, but I got it right here. It probably would save my nails if I did use this, so. Okay. Now, I have this block like this. Now, what I'm going to do, I have to fold my papers and trim it up. So, first, I do the top, fold it back to my fold. Ooh. To the fold line, and then I'll take it over to my cutting board and I'll add a quarter and trim it off. Just a minute. Let me get back. Okay. Let me read my messages. Lisa Peg said, oh, okay, she commented to someone else. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Okay, now here I have number 1 trimmed off on the top. Now I have to fold my paper piecing for the number 2 block. From the fold that I have. Like this. And by pre-folding your paper, see how easy that go over? I have to add a 1/4 inch and trim this red off. Okay. Much nicer look, right? It's a start. Okay, now we are on block number 3, which is a black. I don't want to have 2. Do I have 2 here? Yes, I do. Just get 1. Okay. Right here, I will lay my block number 3 right sides together. And this is on the back of the paper. I flips over to check. What's that? Okay, I'm checking now to make sure it's gonna cover everything. That's something you want to be careful to do and just check, make sure it's covered. I mean, this is a calm and relaxing process. I found my new best friend. Okay, now I'm going to turn to the right side of the paper, and I'll be sewing down the seam of 2 and 3. So I go ahead and do that. Line up my needle. All right, cut my thread, remove my pins. This is so wonderful. I just love doing this. I thought it was going to be so hard, but it's not. Open it out and finger press. Well, I forgot I got my wooden presser. I've been so used to finger pressing, I forgot I have the wooden press, and when you press it with this until you get done, it just looks so good. Okay, that was number 3. So now I have to find my number 3 fold and fold this back. Add a 1/4 inches and trim off. And I'm using my cutting ruler to add my 1/4 inch. Saving the scraps. Yes. Open it back up. Now I'm on my number 4. Yes. Find my number 4, which is the red. And if you're anything like me, I can't really see too good. I had the cataract surgery and it improved my vision, but I still have to be careful. I make sure that it gonna cover the space that I'm working with and get that tip. Once I see it got that, I just pin my block piece in place. Pin it in place. It goes straight through the paper. It don't have no problem sewing through the paper. And I turn it right side front. I go to the line. I'm sewing between line 3 and 4 now. I just go on. I can actually sit here all day. Remove my pins. Get my wooden press. I order my wooden press off a Quilt show, you guys. If y'all interested in purchasing a wooden press, look up Quilts on YouTube. She's an awesome person. She helps you when she can. She'll stop doing her work sometime to come help you. Okay. So I have that now. So number 4 was my last piece in the triangle shape. So what you do is I turn the right side over. I catch my fold on the number 4, press my paper on over, and I add a 1/4 and trim that off. Okay. Now, you can see I got my little 1/4 inch edge, and now I straighten my paper back out, and that's what I have. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go trim this edge up and the side edge, so I'll be prepared to move on a little further. So what I have to do is fold my paper so I can add a 1/4 and do the trim. I fold my paper to the front side of the pattern. It kind of gets everything out the way. I fold it to the front side. I add a 1/4. Then I can open that back up. See how it's getting more shapy? So now I got to trim this side. So I go to my number 5 mark line, and I fold my paper into the front side. Then I add a 1/4. Then I can trim these off. If anybody missed anything, you can always refer back to the video. That is the center. So now I'm ready to add my number 5 block. Number 5, right sides together. This is going to be so fun. I know I want about 16 of these blocks in the 4 style. I make 4 of these to put together one of the big blocks. So it takes 4 of them. sure my paper right. Okay. Now I can turn it over. Go to my line. Line up my needle. Okay. Remove my pins. Let me check my messages just a minute. Lisa says, ha ha ha, Ellen, my best friend is my seam ripper. Yes, I have my best friend with me too. She laying up here, look, close by too. So finger, just press these seams open. Now you all can see that my paper is a little overlapping, like a little too big. I could trim it off now if I want. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and trim that. When you're trimming, you still have to do the edge a quarter. It's not that hard. So just add your quarter. Go ahead and trim it up so everything can look nice. Ooh, I gotta be careful. I almost cut my finger. Can't be cutting my finger. See the difference in that edge now, you guys, after trimming it up? Look nice, right? Let me do the other side. Oh, brother. Okay. I did my add a quarter, trim that side up as well. So now I'm ready to move on to the sides. So let's do the number 8. I have some number 8s right here. It's easier when I just take one from the back. If I can get it up. It seems like I'm using doubles or seeing double, having double vision. And number 8 goes. I line it up all the way across. Then I check before I pin to make sure I'm on the right side for my number 8. Then I pin it through the paper, which holds it in place. And I turn it over to the right side and I sew down this line, edge line. Line up my needle. Doing paper piecing help you get your points and everything every time. I'm like, oh, you can't go wrong with paper piecing. Check my comments. Okay. I'm glad you all can join me this morning. on preparing this block. I mean, it's fun and relaxing. I go ahead and open up this seam. This wood press will come in handy. You don't have to tear up your nails, mess up your color on your nails. Now, I press that open, and this is what I got. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold this back over a minute. Go to my seam, fold it, and check my allowance on my seam to make sure it's 1/4 inch. And trim off. Thank you, T. I appreciate you for joining me. YouTube been messing up on me this morning. I tried to add a link to my videos where you could get your own quilt Go system, which allows you to cut your fabric pieces and stuff the way you want it. So the next one is number 6 with right sides together. So I already have these pre-cut out. And I label them so I know which pile I'm going to. Okay. I don't know what's going on with YouTube this morning, y'all. Now I'll be sewing down this seam between number 4 and number 6. Come off some thread. I save my trims on threads and everything, you all. I use them because I make pillows as well. And all those little tiny, tiny scraps goes into a pillow. Ooh. Getting close to the edge, I have to slow it down. Okay. Take my wooden press. I like this wooden press. It make that seams lay down just right. Just right. Now I bring it back. And I go back and check my seam allowance to make sure it's at 1/4. What did I have here? There we go. Okay. That was a nice seam. That was right on it. Okay. Now I have to fold it on the number 7 between the 6 and the 7 guideline, and it give me that extra edge. So I add 1/4 and I trim that edge. Add a 1/4 inch for my ruler. Everything over that 1/4 inch get trimmed away. I really don't want that on my flare. Okay. Open them out. Here's how far I am. Now I have to add the number 7 strip. Number 7, which is right here. Number 7. Right sides together. Get it pinned down. Something that popped up, a notification blocking my comment view. Let's see. Nancy says, Ellen, this is so exciting for me to see this block come together under someone else's needle. I've got the biggest smile on my face right now. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Nancy. This is a beautiful design, and I just love it. It's going to be something I'm going to make a lot of, I know. And now I'm sewing between the line of 6 and 7 on the front, because everything is done on the back. And once you're done, you get the complete finished block. You get to trim it up, tear the paper away. It's just lovable. And I have to slow it down. This machine here, like power. It'll fly, it'll go. Okay, now I'm going to fold that back over, and I'm going to measure this seam allowance. Okay, just bear with it. Okay. Wooden presser. This wooden presser really do a better job than my nails ever could. Y'all interested in one, do go to T Quilts on YouTube. I mean, you get the whole set. I have the presser, the seam ripper, and this seam ripper, if I can get it out. Y'all excuse my mouth. I don't have much strength in my hand, but the seam ripper slides out and go in like that for protection. And by me sewing now, I leaves it out. And this other end comes out and has a stylo on the end where you can use the point, hold your fabric close up to the needle to keep you from sewing your fingers. And I'm gonna leave that one out. And I also have where it is, this to go with this set. It's the little needle carrying case where you can unscrew and put your needles in here, sewing machine needles, hand needles. Just put your needles in here and you can take them with you on the go. You can apply a chain through this hole and you can wear it around your neck as well, which is a good idea. So I love my set and I just got to share it with y'all because I love it so much. Great tools to be working with. So now I have this like that. And here's what I do. I fold my edge down. And can y'all see the difference in that edge? I have to go back and trim up this edge. Make sure I add a quarter. I mean, if you just do the work, take your time and do the work. Get it right. Don't rush yourself. It's a very beautiful block. Look at that. Look at that. Trimmed it up. Now I have to do the same thing for the other end. Lay it all the way across. Get it right. Add a 1/4 inch. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay. I put this side on. Let me see. Okay, for this side, I even fold the outer edges. So when I reverse that fold it back. See all the extras? Add a 1/4. Trim it down. Okay. I got this side done. So, do the other side. That's this outer edge. See, I have a lot I got to trim on that one. So, add a 1/4. Trim it down. Okay. At this point, this is the block. On how can y'all see that? Actually, that's what I like right there. Can y'all see that? That is the block. Now, to show you what I do from there, I just start doing this. Now, you have to take your time to get all the paper off. And that's not a problem. Just sit here and tear it off. And you know, this paper here came right from the printer. It don't tear your stitches out or anything. You just tear off this excess paper. Now, I have a bag hanging to put my trash in. Now what I do, this is what I pull out the stylos for. Take your time and just get all the little paper. Once it come up from one edge, you reach in and it just, look at that, come on up. And it don't even pull the stitches out, you guys. It don't mess up the design. It don't mess up anything. I take my stylos and I go back and get these little tiny paper pieces out from under the thread. But before I start picking with that, I gonna free out the big ones. Nancy says, Ellen, this is okay. I read that one. Yes, it's spectacular. Lisa said it's spectacular. I love it. Yes, I do. I love it. It brings me so much joy. And you get minimum loose threads too. You don't have a whole lot of loose threads. And when I can get less loose threads, I like that. You have threads everywhere. When I'm sewing my regular blocks, I have thread everywhere. I have to trim this, trim that. And some of the threads I won't even see. I still miss some because can't see too good. I have a little tip. And I have a piece of thread here. Getting these tips, the paper out of the tip. This stylo's come in real handy for getting that paper out of there. I just take my time and remove it. And you see I have just a few in spots. Like here, it comes right out. Rub your finger over it, comes out. I just love this, love this. You know, when you get tired of making certain blocks, you be like, okay, what's next? I'm tired of this. Let me make something else. If this don't cheer you up, I don't know. As they say, take a vacation. I don't have to take a vacation now. I take breaks. Because if I leave home, I'm going to take it with me. Oh, this is so fun. I can pick these little pieces out later, but you can see I got all of it out except some tiny spots. And then there's my block. So I make 4 of these. I make 4 of these blocks, and then I sew them together, which makes, my goodness, which make one of these. Can y'all see the blocks? It's 4 of those tiny blocks to make one of these larger blocks. And this larger block is 17.5 inches by 15.25 inches. I'm just loving it. Can y'all picture the full quilt? Maybe strip the piece together with maybe some black or even red. I don't know, I'm thinking about doing the black trim set because it have this red cross like in the center of each block. And it kind of give me that Spider-Man kind of effect, but I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I found something that I truly love. And I didn't even think I can do it. Once I'm done, I have to discern whether I'm going to have to add a piece on the end of one. I add like a 1.5 inch strip to one to make the blocks come out even, to set them the way I want it. Beautiful. Beautiful. So that's how I do it, everybody. I'm going to lay this aside and start on another one because it takes 4 of these to make one of the big blocks. Okay, I got to kind of straighten up my little work area. Grab another one. Grab another sheet and fold it. Fold it to all my black lines. Nancy said, look fantastic. Thank you, Nancy. I can't wait to see this quilt finished. Quilted and all. I just started thinking of a design, a quilting design, for once it's finished. And I haven't made a decisive decision yet on which way I'm going because I got the feather rhythm in mind because it have so many points. See the points? You got sharp points, and feathering will look nice. Check my messages here. I have something blocking. Okay. If anyone is new to my channel, please like, give me the thumbs up. If you're interested in watching more, do subscribe, share with your friends. I appreciate you watching as we learn and grow together. Most of the time when someone subscribes to my channel, I check out their channel. I subscribe if they dealing with sewing and quilting, because we learn from one another, so we grow. Getting this paper fold just right in this point. Take a little time. But this what I'll be working on today. Paper piecing. I fold it and rub it with my nails to give it a good crease. A very good crease. This is just nice. So nice. Who would have knew you could fold some paper and sew bad? Who would have guessed it? I have like, excuse me, I have like 50 copies of these made. 50 copies. That way, if I make a mistake, I still have some wiggle room. And y'all see, I did make a mistake. I had to start over. But making those mistakes teaches you not to make the same mistake twice. Take time and fold the paper. If you fold the paper, you'll notice you got your indentations on the back side of the paper. And when you lay your fabric on that back side, you can kind of lay it where your folds will give you that 1/4 inch on the fold, and that will be a good marking to go by. Make sure you get your drink ready. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what's going on. It must be very close to spring. My sinuses is acting up. It's not very bad, but it's enough to tickle my throat, to tell me I need to get my medicine out, get it ready, because the pollen is coming. Oh, I didn't get that one. Happy Easter, everybody. Everybody that celebrate Easter and the remembrance of Christ. Happy Easter. And what he done to finish work on the cross. I just take my time and get these lines lined up. Because these lines, when you fold that paper, these lines actually help you to stay on course. If I had been paying attention the first time, I wouldn't have got my first one messed up. Okay, see, do I have all my seams? Outside edges, done. Okay, I'm ready to start a new one. Strip 1. Ooh, excuse me. Strip 1 and strip 2. So I have to take my time and get about let me turn this over since it's block 1. Okay. When you turn it over to the way you have to sew it, it helps you to line everything up. And right sides together. Okay, so I got my first and my second block, right sides together, pinned down to the back, and then the front of the sheet. I just start from my point and sew down the line between number 1 and number 2. Set my needle. Whatever color fabric you're using, you can use the thread you like. But I'm using white thread on red and black because I can really see the white better. And when I flip it over, it's not really coming through. And if I don't get an offer for it, it'll fit nicely on my bed. So I have the front seam done. So what I do is I go back to the front and fold it forward. That way I get to my seam. Now go back, add a 1/4 inch, and trim out everything that's bigger than that. Excuse me. Ugh. I'm about to get all choked up, look like. Trim that away. Small pieces. Got my edge. Finger press this down. Oh, wow, that is very nice. Okay, now I fold my top edge in so I can add a 1/4 and trim as I go. It's so easy. So easy. Now, when I straighten it back up, I have my top edge. So, even though I have my top edge, I have to go to the seam for number 2 and number 3 and fold it in. Do the same thing, fold it in, add a 1/4, turn it this way, add a 1/4 and trim. Okay. All right. This is what I have so far. Now I'm on piece number 3. Find my number 3, which is right next to me. I don't want to cover up my numbers. Okay. So with right sides together, I make sure it covers this point. And then after it covers the point, I check and make sure it's going to cover the area that it was designed to cover. If you don't check, that's how you're going to make that mistake like I did. Have that little split in the top. Let me show you. On this first one, I forgot to check it. Make sure it covered the whole thing, and I got that little split. See that split at the top? Make sure you check so you won't get that. So now I turn it back to the right side, sewing between the number 2, the number 3 guideline. Okay, remove my pins, stick them in my little red tomato, and take my seam presser, open it out and press it over. Oh, it make that point look so good, y'all. It make that point look so good. Look at that. Coming to life. Okay, I'm going to fold that back and turn it forward and turn in between your 3 and 4 seam guideline. Just fold it over. Put your black, open it back up. Then you can see what you have to add a quarter and trim. And I'm using my fabric cutting ruler, and I'm just going by the 1/4 inch on the edge here, as you can see. And I add that 1/4 and I trim it off. I make sure it lines up from one end to the other one. Just take your time so you won't make a mistake, because mistakes are so easy to happen. They're so easy. But now I have this. And I have some thread I can trim right here. My next one is number 4. Just take one from the bottom. Let me show y'all this. When I was cutting my pieces, I was cutting them in a mass quantity, and I kind of got a little of my binding edge on the fabric. So when putting right sides together, you check your fabric. I can still use it, but I have to make sure I put my right sides together where the binding edge can get trimmed off. So here you go. And it covered the space is designed for perfectly. So I just pin it. All my larger pieces, I keep them because it's a second temper plate to this quilt block design. And it's a smaller one, but it's, let me see, it's beautiful. I thought I had it out. But here is a picture of the pretty one that Nancy done that she had on her page. And I try to keep all my originals together. Okay. It's in the bag. It comes with the cutting instructions and everything. This is that second sheet. See how small those is? And when you got scraps left, some of them scraps to go on some of these smaller blocks. And that's kind of on the border of the quilt. So I'm doing mine much larger. I want mine to fit a king size bed. And I'm having fun with it. So now I'm sewing down the guide, seaming guide of number 3 and 4. And my machine's so fast, you guys. I have to touch the pedal very lightly. Sometimes I just have to take off my shoes. Operate it with a toe. It's a Juki. I'm thinking a QT 2000. These Jukis are so fast, though. They durable, strong. Okay, I'm gonna press this seam open. Oh, I just love these points. These points melt in my heart, y'all. Let me check my comments just a minute. Lisa says, I'm listening and sewing scraps up into heaven knows what. Enjoy your sewing, Lisa. Lisa also says, Ellen, I need to perform some domestic good goddess duties. May you have a very blessed Easter. Enjoy watching, and thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching, Lisa. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of y'all watching my channel. Okay, I add that. That's for number 4. So I flip it to the front. Now I'm going to fold it between the 6 and number 4. Fold it to the front like this. Now I can go and trim off, add a quarter, and do my trim. See how much that come off and all of that salvage edge. I just lay it over to the side because if I don't use it in anything dealing with this quilt here, it will get used in something. See? Now I have all 4 of these. So now what I do is, oh, that sounds like an alarm. I fold this, get it trim off at a quarter. Lord, please let everyone be safe. Keep them, touch them, oh Lord God. Touch us all. Keep us all safe. know if that's a test drill or what, but I'm getting some sirens. Okay. Now I have to do this edge. Fold it forward to the front of the paper with all your guidelines and markings. Then you take it over to your cutting board, add a quarter and trim. My goodness. I live within walking distance of a fire station, so if something going on, I'm really gonna hear it. Okay, here's where I'm at, guys. Now I'm finna add number 5. Let's turn it to the back. Oh, I just love these points and these things. It does me so much good. So much good. This is number 4. Am I missing something? 1. Let me check that again. Number 5. Yes, I'm missing it. I covered it up with my block. Oh boy. I have notifications pops up and cover up my messages. Ooh. Okay. Now. Okay, I have it right. I try to line everything up so it'll fit exactly where it's supposed to fit. Take these pins and pin it straight through the paper so it'll hold it in place. That means it's not going to slide. It's not going to move. It's going to be exactly where I need it to be. Then I turn it over. On the guideline of connecting it to block 1, 2, 3, 4, I add 5 to those. So here we go. Okay. Unpin. When I start doing them like this, it seems like they go so fast. I got a little distracted by the siren that went off. Hope it's not a national warning for the whole community. Oh my goodness. Yay. Now I have a little extra on these sides that I have to go back, fold to the front to take off, add a quarter, and take the rest off. Okay. It gave me a nice clean edge on that side. Now I have to do the other side. Fold it to the front. Measure my 1/4 inch allowance. And take off the excess. I have to be careful cutting with those cutters. I cut my finger. Okay, nice. Okay, now I always like starting with my number 8. Starting with my number 8 strip. I got them all labored and laid out so I can just lay them out and pin it into place completely through the paper. Lay it out. Now it's all pit and it's flat and even. So I turn the paper to the right side and turn it around. I'm sewing down the number 6 mark line. No, the number 8. I'm sorry. The number 8 that connects it to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 section. Turn it back over. Remove the pins. Press open my seam. Oh my goodness. I need to take a pause. Wait a minute. Can I call you back? Oh, wait a minute. I'm stuck on speakerphone. I can't get you on speakerphone. Is it emergency?
Now, what you doing?
I'm on a YouTube live. Let me call you back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, love you, baby. Bye-bye. Sorry, that was my daughter. I just had to answer because that was her second time calling me, and she's expecting, and she's all the way in Mississippi. And I live in Indiana now, and I want to try to be there with her when she delivers. Okay. Now I got number 8 sewed on, but the thing is I have to fold it back over, turn the paper over, fold it to the front, check this seam allowance, add a quarter, make sure it's a 1/4 inch. Anything over a 1/4 inch, I have to trim off. Okay, that is perfect. Okay. Lay that back out and get that edge. Fold the edge in on this 8-inch marking. Trim that up. I still always add that 1/4 inch. Always add in your 1/4 inch seam allowance. There you go. Here's where I'm at. Okay, for the other side, I'm on number 6. So I add number 6. pin it. I try to pin it to give the needle and the presser foot some space. Like pin it to the top of my lining, and down here is where my seam will go. So now I turn it over to the right side, and I'm sewing down the number 6 and the 4 between that number 6 and 4 line, lining up my needle because they got a point in here. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Let me check and see if I have new comments. Hi, Tucker. I'm glad you can join me. Nancy said, I love how you are taking the pattern and making it your own because that's what it's all about. Thank you, Nancy. Hi, Tucker. Tucker said, hi, Ellen. Glad I caught you live. Your piecing is so accurate and sharp. I can't wait to quilt your quilt. Thank you, Tucker. I can't wait to send it to you. I've been thinking about hand tying it, and I don't want it hand tied. It's too much invested into it, so I'm gonna quilt it. I'm not gonna just rush into it. I gotta get it measured out too. I haven't measured it yet, so I'll get it measured out for you. Let you know how big it is, so I'll know around about what my fee will be. Now I have number 6 in place. I take my time and I fold it up on that number 6 line between the 6 and the 7. I add a quarter and I trim this off. Okay. And now this is what I have. So my next piece is the number 7. Right here with me. I try hard not to take the one on top that I have my label on. I save it to be the last one I use if I have to use it. And to make sure they line up, pin them in place, allow me room for my presser foot, so I pin it back. All right, turn it over. Now I'm sewing down the seam of guidelines of number 6 and number 7. Okay. I have to hold my foot up kind of high to sew these, because if I don't, my machine would just so run off. It's so just that fast and just that good. I mean, it's the type of machine, if I was in the market to buy more, I'll buy more of this kind. I think Jukis are very good. Okay, I press this seam open. Now I go back, lay it over. Check my seam allowance. Very nice, right on target, just a little hair. Okay, now I open that out, turn it back over, then I fold it on my number 7 edge. So on that number 7 edge, you fold it over, go measure your 1/4 inch and trim. Okay. All right. This is the block. Now what I have to do is lay it forward, fold it to get this outer edge, add a 1/4 inch and trim. Okay, not bad. Now, have that straighter edge. Now I have to go to the bottom, flip it in. See how much I have over the markings? I add a 1/4 inch and I trim the rest off. All right. Done. Another block. I like it going this way. Can y'all see the designs, the points coming in? Okay, when I'm done, I just take it. Take it and rip the paper off. All of it don't come off right away, but I just rip off what I can get off. And remember, I told y'all this is printer paper. Copy your paper. Just make copies of your pattern. Y'all do go to www.nancymessurdesigns.com. You can get your patterns there. I use my stylo to lift up these in this point. Once you can get a piece up in these points, it come up so easy. And the goal is to get the paper up and not punch a hole in it. Okay, I got a side edge going for me here. If this don't make you love it, I don't know what will. I know there's many other paper piecing designs, but I got to see more. I got to see what this got to offer me now. I'm taking. It give me creative ideas of stuff I can do on my own. Woo. Who would have guessed it? Catch up on my comments here in a minute. Get this paper off of here. But I can finish getting it all out later. But this is the process. This is 2 of them. I'll pick that out later. But this, look at that. Now, since I have 2, I'm going to show y'all what I do. Since I have 2 of them, I set them out in the direction I look for them to run. I pick that little paper off later. I like for my, see how they coming in? It's going to be kind of hard to hold this up. I'm trying to get these to come in. That's my goal. I bring them in. I make 2 more. I bring them in. Then I put right sides together where all of them be coming to like a point in the center, but it don't quite make a point. So what I have to do is I measure it. I looks at it. It comes in good. So I put right sides together. And I don't pin it, but I use my 1/4 inch marking I have on my machine here. But this time I have on my 1/4 inch foot for sewing. And I just run a seam. Keep it straight. Mm-hmm. Quarter inch. You can see it better on the black and white. Okay. Trim these threads. Now, I take my wooden presser. Press that open. Ooh, hope I ain't mashing too hard, but it helps get it open. Okay. Now, this a part at the top. This for one block. I have to make 2 more just like this. And every 2 blocks I get, excuse me. Excuse me. Every 2 blocks I get like this, I sew them together like this. And then when I put them together, it give me this beautiful big block here. This is what I'm going for. And when I put them all together, I get this. And I just love it. I really do like it. I love it. I mean, I'm really super stoked about it. And it comes out to 17.5 inches by 15.25. So y'all go on, get the pattern, get it sewed up, make it. When you make it, show me or tag me in your video. Make sure I get to watch a video with y'all. I appreciate y'all watching. Let me check my comments. Okay. Tucker said, sound good. Yes, it do. Thank you for watching, Tucker. I'm not going to keep y'all all morning, but this is the process of how I do it and how I make this block. And I'm going to try to make about 16 to maybe 20 of these blocks. I'm going to cover a king-size bed. And I really like it because my bedroom color is this color theme, red and black right now. And when I saw this pattern, I just knew I had to have this one. It was quite a few to choose from, but I liked it, this one. It had the points I wanted. And I knew if I put it together a certain way, it kind of give you like a Spider-Man effect. But it's not a Spider-Man. It's this beautiful triangle colors triangle. And I just love it. Hi, Melissa. I'm so glad you can join. Thank you for watching. Y'all share with y'all friends and stuff. I love sewing. Most of my day be involved with sewing. If I'm not sewing, I'm cutting fabric, and ooh, I just keep buying. I can't stop. I be buying fabrics and have fabric at home. I forget I got it already. I be buying more. I have some packed up in shipping boxes that I was gonna get someone to cut for me before I got my AccuQuilt Go system. And all I can remember doing is just cutting the tape, taking the fabric out the box because I already have this and I got it like in 4 yards. They have these 4 yards packages. Let me see if this one. It comes 4 yard pre-cut packages, and I have maybe like I got like 4 of these in black, 4 grays, 4 whites, 4 blues, and maybe 4 more whites. I just buy them up. I be trying to mix up my colors, and I need some brown and orange, and I just love when I see different fabrics and it's pretty and it's new. Before I know it, I've been got a piece. I be like, it's too pretty to just get 1 yard. 1 yard is nice, but I'm like 4 and 5 yards. That's a quilt. That's a nice quilt. So that's how I get it. I thank y'all for watching. Do share my video, and I'm going to end it here. And I will be continuing sewing because I got quite a few of these blocks I want to make. And I will come again when I get it done. I'll show y'all the finished product. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to quilt it or send it out to be quilted, but I'll let you all know. Stay tuned. Have a blessed day. Happy Easter, everybody. Okay, that'll be it for now.